Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. So we are talking about this little teeny tiny palette today, obviously, hence the title. I have 3 of these so far. I do want to get more. I have the Mauve Obsessions, which I did a video on, the Smoky Obsessions, which I have a blog post on, and now we have the Coral Obsessions from Huda Beauty. And I did swatch this, so I will link the blog post down below if you want to check out some swatches. But this is what it looks like. So it's definitely red, orange, there's even a yellow down here. There is 7 mattes and 2 metallics at either end here, which are quite similar in some ways. One is more duochrome and one is more pinky. But this is what it looks like. I picked this up for €28 in the BT Beauty Lounge here in Dublin, but they do sell them on Cult Beauty as well, because I think actually from Brown Thomas these are in-store only purchased at the minute, so Cult Beauty do them. There's still the plastic on it. I thought we could take it off together. So satisfying. So now I have a mirror to use. So obviously I have my base and my brows on and more or less all my makeup, because there was no need to kind of do it in this video. And I have primed and set my lids as well, because there's definitely no kind of lid shade to use for blending into. So I just used the matte skin colour of the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. Okay, enough jibber jabbering. Let's get into using this on the eyes. So I haven't planned this out. This is kind of just going to be off the cuff. I just wanted to show you what I looked like in action. So I'm going to take the middle shade first, which is a more, it's still warm, but it's probably the coolest and lightest shade in the palette. Well, other than the yellow. So I'm going to run that into the crease first. Huda Beauty say that this is like a streamlined version of their oranges and yellows and stuff, the shades that they're kind of famous for. So yeah, like if you're like me and you didn't quite want to splurge on the Desert Dusk palette, this could be like a good in-betweeny. I'm just going to use this shade as my guide really, because I have kind of hooded eyes. This helps me when I'm applying colour. Now this will be quite a wearable look, I'm sure, even with these crazy colours. I'm going to leave that there and go into the shade that's next to it, which is like an orangey matte brown, mid-tone brown, and I'm using a more tapered brush, and I'm just really going over it. These shades, well, these shadows blend like a dream. So they don't take much working, and you don't have to apply a lot on your brush, so they last for a while considering how small the palette is. Of course you don't need to apply this many eyeshadows into your crease. I just kind of want to show you as many of them as I can in action. Okay, for the lids I'm going to go with the duochrome shade in the bottom. And I think generally for most metallic shades, but particularly for these kind of foiled shadows, I think a finger works best. You can use a wet brush, but for me, I use my finger. And I'm going to apply this to the lid. This is such a pretty shade. In a pinch, this would make a lovely blusher as well. So the other one. So I'm going to bring that up to meet the crease colour. And I feel like when it's on your finger, you can kind of squish it into the lash line as well to make sure there's no gap between your lashes and the lid. Okay, lid shade done. I'm going to go in with the darker brown now, which is this one here. And I'm going to take a slightly smaller brush. Just tip the tip in. And I'm going to use that on the outer corner. It's a similar shade, but it's probably 2 shades darker and matte, so it just adds a bit of definition on the outer corner. And then I'm going back to the medium shade on the right hand side of the palette and just kind of buffing everything together. Just for funsies and because it's there, I'm going to take the yellow shade with a fluffier brush and just apply a little bit to the top of the blend. Just cause. I think I definitely need some liner to ground everything, so I'm going to use the Mr. Right Seymour Letters from the Balm. It's just a shimmery bronzy brown. I'm going to line my upper lash line. You can see that kind of brings my eyes back to the forefront a little bit because you kind of lose them a bit in all the orange. I still have my lash lift, so I can use a non-waterproof mascara, and this is a really nice one. It's the Isadora Stretch Lash, so it has one of the retractable ones, or well, not retractable, squished ones. You can twist it and it gets fatter or longer. I use it longer first and then I squeeze it in for a bit more volume. So I'm going to apply lashings of that. Okay, lower lash line time. I'm going to take the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil and Torch, which is a similar tone to all of these, and I'm going to use this in my waterline. For the lower lash line, I'm still going to keep it in like the more brown family rather than the pink. These are kind of more pinky. So I'm going to take this shade that I used in my outer corner of my top lid and this kind of lighter orangey shade and just mix them both together. They're actually really similar shades to the liner. More similar than I realised. Mascara on the lower lashes. I rarely skip it. Like already I just think this eye looks better than that one now. So just to finish my eyes off, because there's no highlight shade in this either, I'm just going to take my actual highlighter that I'm going to use, which is in the same kind of colour family. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow. What is this called? Poop, I can't remember. I'll put it down below. I do know what it is and it used to be on it but it's gone now. But it's a kind of orangey, pretty shade. It's pretty. So I'm just going to whack some of that in my inner tear duct. And on my cheekbones. I put that in inverted commas because I don't have any cheekbones. Last thing to do now is lips, so I'm going to use Spice Lip Liner. And then some lip gloss, which is going to be the Laura Geller Colour Luster Lip Gloss in Gilded Honey. I wish I had the Gilded Honey highlighter because that would have really worked, but this is a gorgeous peachy, shimmery shade. Always have to go with the setting spray. And that's it for my Coral Obsessions makeup. I think it's clear to see that these shadows perform really, really well. And they're also extremely orange. So if you're not a fan of orange, if you didn't gasp when you saw like the Naked Heat palette or the Naked Petite Heat or even the Desert Dusk palette, you're not going to like this. And also be very wary that 7 of the shades are matte. There's only 2 shimmers. So if you're not a matte fan, you mightn't enjoy it either. But I have to say, these are all really, really good quality. The shades do perform differently depending on just the colour and the shadow that they are. But overall, Huda Beauty does damn good eyeshadows. And this is very, very nice. And I'm quite happy with my orangey but wearable makeup look. So I'll put these down. And I will say my spiel. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it. And I shall talk to you in my next video. Take care. Bye.